You are now tuned in to another episode of the D&B Podcast. I'm your host, Camilio Salamander, and my co-host, KB the Mark.
Cause I'm a fucking mark for this shit. Thank you guys for tuning in to the D&B Podcast. Salamander, we're gonna go ahead and jump straight into some news for today. First off, before we get started, how you doing? How you doing today? I know you're a busy man.
Today's a lovely day. The sun is shining bright and everything. We got some wrestling news that could possibly make or break somebody's career, in my opinion. But let's just get into the details to everything.
All right. So we got a couple of stories for you today. First one here, Tucker says Vince doesn't care about tag team wrestling, and this story is coming from eWrestlingNews.com. During a recent appearance on the OTR show, former WWE superstar Tucker revealed whether WWE had any plans to have Heavy Machinery cash in Otis's Money in the Bank briefcase as a tag team. For those unaware, there were rumors going around last year that it may be happening, Tucker said. So this is what Tucker said on the OTR show. I don't think so. No, I have no idea. Just based on my thought, to me, I feel like Vince doesn't feel like the tag team division can really draw money. At least that seems to be the way they're booked. Even when they have a super emotional story, they might get 20 minutes at the most. They're never getting 40 minutes. They're never going on last. And the Money in the Bank is like one of the biggest things in the company. It's one of the biggest prop gimmicks that there is. It's a ticket to a world title. There's very few people that have unsuccessfully cashed it. It's like the thing they use to catapult someone, essentially. It would be nice to think they use it for us to win the tag team championships, but I don't think it was the plan. And if it was, it never got there. So with that being said, Salamander, I'll ask you a two-parter. Do you believe what Tucker is asking? And looking back on how it played out, would you have had Heavy Machinery cash in Money in the Bank on the SmackDown Tag Team Champions?
Okay, so with Tucker, yeah, I believe what he's saying is true because he's not with the company anymore, and with the recent releases, we are seeing more ex-WWE superstars speak out more. So I believe everything he's saying is true. You know, they found the person who they wanted that was in the team. They chose Otis, basically dumped Tucker to the side. Now to your other question, it would be the smart way because we never seen the Money in the Bank being used in that way. So that would have been different, and it would have been, I think that would have been awesome too, because if they would have did that, they would have had no choice but to focus on the tag scene more, because you did use this prop gimmick item that's very popular right now and use it on something that y'all never used it before. It's just like if somebody winning and use it and they choose to cash in on the United States Championship or the IC title. It's something that never been done, so it's gonna bring attention to that title. But bringing attention to the title, I would like to give a shout out to the almighty Bobby Lashley. Ever since he held the US title, it's been up there. Sheamus got it. He's been injured a little bit, but
no, Salamander, and I absolutely agree with everything you said. You know me, I've been on record saying that that Otis and Heavy Machinery should have cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase for the tag titles. I'm on record saying that. It's the only thing that makes sense, and we can break away from the norm. And I like especially what you said with bringing prestige back to the tag team titles. Because since like 2016, 2017, those tag team titles really haven't felt important. We can go back to the New Day and the Usos, Otis when he was with Jason Jordan with America Alpha, just those different teams. The tag team championships felt important back then.
Mm-hmm.
But now they just feel like an afterthought. Even now with the SmackDown championships being on Ray and Dominic, since they had their little run-in with the head of the table, you haven't seen them. And that's your tag team division that isn't getting any spotlight. But I do want to ask you, I want to ask you one more question. Tucker's saying that Vince doesn't care about tag team wrestling. How do you feel about that?
Uh, Before I answer that, I do want to say that the SmackDown tag team titles really ain't been relevant since, like 2016, like that whole feud with well, I would really say the whole feud with the New Day and the Usos, that was like back to back to back. Those was when the tag team titles was really up there. And then I say when the Shield had came back, that's what it kind of made it feel like it was important at that moment. But yeah, ever since then they really ain't been there. But Vince, yeah, I believe that he don't, because the booking shows. Like, you keeping your tag team champions off TV for weeks at a time, like that don't make sense. Otis, not Otis, but AJ and Omos, they they be disappearing from TV every now and then. They taking L's. I don't like that. He like having them in the tag, but only AJ's wrestling. Omos sitting on ringside. Like, stuff like that don't make sense. That's what this is the time for you to bring in local talent. Have them squash them. Stuff like that, just to build this tag up. Like, why would you put your newly tag with against the tribal, the whole squad? Like, that don't make sense. For one, why every time you in the tag division you have the tag belt? Why do you have to participate in singles competition? I don't understand it. But that's my main thing. Like, why? Like, all right, Sasha and Bailey, they singles. They already had tags in play. They made them a tag, put the titles on them. Okay, that I understand, because they was really pushing for these titles. Then with the SmackDown tag team titles, the Mysterios, they won it. They put in Ray in the singles competition with Roman for the title. Why? None of this makes sense. Like, they are tag titles for a reason. If you are going to have Rey Mysterio in a singles match, have him in a singles match against another person on the other team who they actually in a feud with. That way, that kind of makes sense of why you having this one-on-one match. Not just, oh, I got the tag team titles. Now I'm about to go ahead and face Bobby Lashley and be in a 2-month feud with him and not even participate in any of the tag team activities going on. So since I got him in that take away 2 of my titles. I'm not even gonna book no tag matches for the next 2 months until I'm done with this feud. Then after that, I'm gonna drop the titles, get them the titles to somebody else, and then I'm just gonna leave them at home for a couple months until I figure out something to do with them. That's what WWE is doing right now. Now, none of that made sense, but that's what WWE is right now. It don't make sense.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And it's funny how you can easily look over to Wednesday nights and see how the Young Bucks and Tony Khan and AEW do tag team wrestling. Like, unless your main champion is in the match in WWE, you'll never get a tag match to close out the show. Like, just yesterday on Monday Night Raw, there was a tag team match, but guess who was in it? The Almighty. If the Almighty wasn't in it, you will never get a tag match. And in AEW, they love tag matches so much that it doesn't matter what's going on. They'll sacrifice the champion being in the main event segment just to get that tag match across. And it just goes to show you how it's different on the other show when it comes to tag team wrestling. Because to me, when I look at WWE's tag matches and then I look at AEW's tag matches, you can tell that WWE just wants to do the bare minimum just to get through the tag match. And AEW wants to take you on a roller coaster of emotions during the tag match. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Do you feel where I'm coming from? Am I making sense?
I won't say I won't go that far. I won't say go to Wednesdays They could easily go the day before, stop at Tuesdays, watch NXT. They get everything that they be asking for there.
So you're just gonna take this moment to destroy it. Look, I'm not gonna have that argument with you. I understand. NXT has great tag team wrestling as well, but when I just think of tag team wrestling, I think that the amount of effort and emotion that Tony Khan and AEW puts into it, it leaps and bounds above the WWE main roster version of tag team wrestling. And NXT is definitely right there because NXT can put on some fantastic tag team matches.
I will say AEW do give you great tag team matches, but have you ever like been asking for something and then once you get it, it's too much? That's what it is. That's what it is. It's like we ask for tags. Okay, if you want to see a great tag team match, watch AEW. Watch AEW, then you like, damn, every match except for like 2 was tags. It's like, but then yeah, but they do give a lot. They give you everything you want to see in a tag match, but they give it a lot. That's one thing I can say.
Now that I will agree with, there are times where the most of the card is tag team. There might be 3 tag matches and then 2 singles, or 4 tags and 2 singles. I can definitely agree with that. Moving on to our next story. Bayley admits I quit stipulation is a little intimidating, and this is coming from WrestlingInc.com. Bayley did openly reveal that while she has butterflies in her stomach going into the stipulation match, she won't let anything interfere with her third and final chance of snatching the title away from Belair. So this is what Bayley said, I believe, on Talking Smack. So this match is a little intimidating for me, Bayley revealed. So imagine how Bianca feels. Yeah, it's intimidating to me, but I've been ready for every single thing that's been thrown at me in my career in WWE since day one. I'm ready for anything. Bianca is done for. I don't care what she thinks or the title that she holds because it's coming back home. What do you have to say about that?
So, KB, break down the stipulation for this match for our viewers who may not know.
So this is going to be an I Quit match, and basically the only way to win the match is to forcibly make your opponent say I quit.
Now, is this the first I Quit match with women?
I think so.
I think so too. So, and already going that these 2 women are amazing in-ring talent. They are arguably the best top 2 women on the roster right now. That's active right now. This is gonna be a hell of a match. A hell of a match. I'll give it an A++. I'll give it 2 thumbs up because I know they're gonna go out there and show it out. They showed out in Hell in a Cell. Now, just after this type of caliber match, you'll have to end the feud there. Really, like the only way it can go on if she so how to get Bianca. Well, not really, because if Bianca says she quit, there's no need to even pursue that rivalry anymore because she forcibly made you say I quit. She beat you till you couldn't take it no more. So either way it goes, WWE got to put a knife through it after this match because there's no more pushing it after this. There's no more storytelling after this. They have to end it. But I see why she's scared because it's the first ever one. We've seen the stuff that goes on in the I Quit match. Batista said he quit. John Cena stood through him over. JBL got his ass whooped. We seen all that blood. We've seen a lot through I Quit matches. Rey Mysterio blew his knee out because of Chavo. We've seen a lot, so I see why she say it's intimidating for her because just look at the hell that she went through in the Hell in a Cell. It's gonna be that times 10, boo boo. Just get ready.
Yeah, it's gonna be very bad. Here's my question. Say again.
I say, and Bianca strong. You see them biceps?
Oh yeah. So here's my thing. It's in front of fans. So Salamander, how do you book it? Do you book Bianca to win and how, or do you book Bayley to win and how?
You book Bianca. You go with what's not broke, don't fix. It's
but how are you booking her to win
now? You just gotta go out, bang it. I had to do some type of submission move with a chair, and she used her hair to like tighten it up more. How Daniel Bryan had hit the yes lock and used that kendo stick just to lock it in more painfully and everything. Just something like that. It will make her say I quit. It's gonna be something like that. Like it gotta be, but they both gonna go down to the wire. Like it's gonna be a point where it could be anybody's. It's just gonna be at the end who has the more adrenaline, the more strength, who can go the longest, because the last one standing is gonna be the one winning.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I'm very excited about this match. Low key, a part of me would want this to be the main event. This match feels big time. And I feel like this match, because of how the Edge and Roman Reigns story since he's come back is going, I really wouldn't want that to be the main event, nor would I want the men's Money in the Bank to be. This I Quit match just screams main event to me. And we saw what Bianca and Bayley did at Hell in a Cell, and it was probably the best match on the card. And it opened the show.
What they need to do is Edge and Roman first, because if he ain't last, he gonna be first.
Right.
But Edge and Roman first. Then you do either the men's Money in the Bank or Bianca Belair for the main event, because whoever wins the Money Bank this year gonna be big. So yeah, but that's what they need to do anyway. Like, if they not gonna do what they used to do, since WrestleMania is the biggest show, I really prefer having the first match on the show, first two matches on the show, be the Money in the Bank. For real.
I mean, I can see
how it used to be.
I mean, I can
or
see.
Or just have the shit in the pre-show.
What, Money in the Bank?
Yeah, had the Money in the Bank, men's and women's, the first two matches in the pre-show. Boom. That's how
you can't do that. The whole pay-per-view is built around Money in the Bank. You got to have them both on there. But I do agree.
No, I'm talking about if they move at WrestleMania.
Oh, if they were to move it to WrestleMania.
Yeah, had that pre-show at WrestleMania.
That makes sense. Oh, but you know what? They make money off of it.
For that. Just change the rules for it. Like the people who wrestle on the. That's why they gotta do, change the rules to the pre-show. They changed the whole pre-show around how we talked about it. Let's talk more wrestling. They can wiggle that in. They can pay their wrestlers that, because I heard wrestlers who wrestle on the pre-show, they don't get the royalty money from the DVD copies that that comes out, because the pre-show is not on there. So they can make some changes to get that on there.
I get it, but you know, they're gonna make money off Money in the Bank as its own separate pay-per-view, so I wouldn't combine it with WrestleMania. It's just another pay-per-view for you to sell out an arena and bring in some extra money.
To me, that don't make sense. Like, why name this whole pay-per-view after this one match if you only have two? Like Hell in a Cell. The whole pay-per-view is named Hell in a Cell, but it only has one Hell in a Cell match. Like that type stuff. Like stuff like that don't make sense. Fatal 4-way. Only one Fatal 4-way. All the rest is single matches.
I guess because if you do too many gimmick matches, it kind of kills the pay-per-view.
What kills the pay-per-view is the gimmick matches names of the pay-per-view. Go back to Judgment Day. Go back to Vengeance, Bad Blood, all these other great name titles. Great American Bash. All that stuff. They brought that to NXT, but they need to bring it. They need to bring all this stuff back up. What they need to do with the Hell in a Cell, they need to get rid of the Hell in a Cell. I would get rid of that shit for a cut. Like, they should get rid of it for a little bit, and then that way, like, when you really have a deep feud with somebody, you can have them bring back the match, and that bring back prestige to that type of match. Just think about all the Hell in a Cell matches we began recently. They don't do half of the stuff that they did in the early 2000s. I'm not even gonna bring up the 90s. This is the early 2000s. If the Hell in a Cell came out, it was guaranteed somebody was coming off that bitch or going through it. It was guaranteed. Nowadays, it's just there just so people, they won't run out from this ass whooping. But that said, they don't really use the cell how it's really meant for you to use. It's just there, just for tickets, but it's not getting used. Like, no, a steel cage match is trash now. All these gimmick matches that they basically fucked up, they should get rid of because it don't make no sense. None of this stuff. Like I said, you even gotta go to the 90s. You could just compare it from 2000 to 2008. I would say the 2008 all the way to now. Them gimmick matches that we still have is nothing compared to how it was then. Like, it's like, man.
First off, Salamander, I tell you all the time, wrestler safety is our top priority. We need them for the next day's show. We can't be throwing people off the top of the cell like this is the early 2000s. People don't make it back. Look at what happened to Mick Foley.
Yeah, he knew the chances, but guess what? He chose to put his body on the line to give us entertainment.
And guess what?
Sign up for this at the end of the day, so you got to do what you got to do.
And guess what? If they don't want to put their life on the line, that's fine with me. I don't need to see people getting powerbombed 20 feet off a cell anyway.
That's why when I become a wrestler, I'm getting thrown through a table. That's my first request. My first match, put me through a table. We're going to make this shit look sweet.
You have fun with that, Salamander. You have fun with that. Moving on to our next story. Lana reveals what WWE told her as she was being released. This story is coming from thesportster.com. Lana was on Chris Jericho's Talk is Jericho podcast discussing what WWE had told her when they released her. The reason why Lana was let go is indeed for the budget cuts that they were saying. Her contract was a multi-million-dollar deal. This is what she told Chris Jericho on Talk is Jericho. Supposedly, she was supposed to do a new television show, but instead, Laurinaitis was calling her to talk to her about her 90 days, in which he informed her that she was getting released. Lana, CJ Perry asked if it was something that she had done to lead to her release. John Laurinaitis then responded with, "No, you've worked your ass off. You've improved tremendously in the ring. Thank you for working hard. Stay close." Salamander, what are your thoughts on that? And two, do you believe that John Laurinaitis was just blowing smoke up her ass?
I'm gonna answer your second one first. I heard a lot of things about John Laurinaitis. But I mean, yeah, that's WWE for you. I mean, this the same company that released Mickie James and sent her belongings in a trash bag, basically telling her she nothing. That's what I got from it. But I mean, we just heard Tucker. Yeah, they ain't got no reason to lie or nothing about it. This is what they about to do. I'm hearing that the reason for all these releases is because Vince is planning on selling the company or selling part of it. But I don't know. I hope either one or two things. Either Vince is selling it and he's stepping away for good, or when we get fans back, we'll get back the WWE product that we all know and love to this day.
Yeah, I got so many problems with this Lana thing. First off, John Laurinaitis, don't be blowing smoke up CJ Perry's ass. If you guys had this woman going through tables for 9 weeks straight, for her to I don't want to say accidentally, for her to push Nia Jax through a table. We couldn't give Lana no type of dive through the table or nothing. She just simply pushed her, and Nia Jax just so happens to fall through a table. They weren't going to do anything with Lana. And after Miro went to AEW, you knew it was only a matter of time. I read that she was relieved after she got the phone call. And that's sad. Can you imagine going to your job on pins and needles every week because immediately after you do a show, a couple days later, you might get a phone call, or anytime you might get a phone call that says you're gone?
That's horrible.
Like, how stressful is that? One botch, one moment where you forgot the spot, and boom, it's taken from you just like that.
But just think about even receiving that phone call and you actually happy.
I would be happy too, because now I feel like I can live my life. I don't have to be walking on pins and needles. Because an old man who's running WWE doesn't know how to book a women's division and has a writing team who don't know how to write for him. Alexa Bliss is doing magic. Shayna Baszler, who went 2 years undefeated in NXT, I believe, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. She went 2 years being undefeated in NXT, and she hasn't won a singles match this year. This main roster writing team, especially for the women, is god awful. Salamander, Eva Marie. Did you see her yesterday on Monday Night Raw?
I seen some of it, but
she can't even do a lockup right.
Yeah, I mean, it's all horrible. Like it. This is what I did yesterday. So I was enjoying my little 3-day weekend, and I seen Raw was on. So I was like, "What the heck? I'm about to tune in. I'm just laying down anyway. I'm about to tune in." I watched like 10 minutes of it, flicked off, went to something else. Watched that whole show. That was like an hour. Went back to the guide. I'm like, damn, Raw still on. Went back. I'm like, damn, I watched 10 more minutes. I'm like, same bullshit. Hey, this is why I clicked off. Raw is boring and it is horrible. And just so happened, I did, when I clicked back on it, I did preview some of the match, but it wasn't worth it. As you can tell, I clicked right back off. But I am hearing that Vince McMahon is really, really, really high on Eva Marie and Piper.
I think he's more higher on Piper Niven. I think he already knows what he's going to get with Eva Marie. But my whole thing is, I thought that her gimmick was that she couldn't wrestle. And then she was just tagging into the match all willy-nilly. And then when she was in there, she looked god awful. Alexa Bliss scared her and she ran out the ring. I'm just like, what is this? So no, I'm all with Lana. I would feel extremely relieved to get fired from a job like that, where they don't even care about women's wrestling. Do you have anything else to add, Salamander?
Just get this shit off my TV. Cause This is ass. If you're not gonna get no effort to the women's division, just give it up. They should actually have their own show, like 205 Live. Maybe we would actually get some decent content.
It wouldn't be decent because the WWE writers will still be writing.
True.
Next up, we have AEW star not happy with Fyter Fest poster. This is coming from WrestlingInc.com. The Machine, Brian Cage, is upset that he's not on the Fyter Fest promotion poster. Salamander, my question to you, do wrestlers put too much stock into not being on a fucking poster?
Now, it just depends who you are. Like, if I'm Bobby, if I'm the Almighty, and I'm gonna be on this, and I'm on this next card, and I'm the champion, yes, put me on there. I don't even care if I'm faded in the background. I want to be on there. But if I'm Drew Gulak, no, you better not be bitching.
I mean, I feel like wrestlers put too much stock into it. I mean, he is the FTW champion. It's not a championship that's recognized by the promotion, but it's still a title belt, and he does get ample TV time. And he does have an FTW championship title defense on that show. So I can understand why he's upset, but bro, it's just a poster. And you've been on a lot more. So I'm just a little bit confused. I don't think it's something that's that important. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I don't see being on a promotional poster to be that important. Because guess what? If you got a match on the card, why does it matter if you're on the poster, Salamander? They're still coming to see you, right or wrong.
But it's just the fact that you getting that acknowledgement that you basically a top dog. That's what making a poster really shows, that you that top dog.
I mean,
Like,
I
if it's gonna
guess.
be a like, let's say WrestleMania, let's use that for example. Everybody who you will see on a normal WrestleMania poster is really like the big matches or the big storylines they have going for that show. So if you know you got a big storyline coming, like Daniel Bryan's return to the ring, we had that match at WrestleMania. If he wasn't on none of the promotion posters, that's like, yeah, I would feel some type of way. But it's like, it just depends on what you got going on. Like if that match card is filled with like great matches, like that like with the big names, it's gonna be Dean Ambrose, John Moxley, Kenny Omega, just all the big names. If they all gonna be on that card, then I could kind of see why he wasn't. But it just all depends. If you got a good storyline going on at the time, or if you like the main champion, they deserve to be on there.
Nah, I get it. I guess it does depend on your storyline, and I do like the storyline that he's in with Team Taz, with pretty much the Machine Brian Cage about to turn babyface. So I can understand, because that's going to be a huge moment in that story. So I can see why he would be upset that he's not on the poster. But it just, to me, and maybe it's just me, I just feel like they're still coming to see you. They're still going to pay the ticket to see you. So why does it matter if you're on a poster? Now, if they pulled your match from the card, then I would understand why he would be so upset. You know what I'm saying? But you're still on the card, so they're still paying to see you.
It's just the acknowledgement, because some people may not know, because if they don't see him on the card, they may not know. Just like let's say if we go to something and they send out flyers and it's like, meet such such, but we there, and then we got a lot of people coming like, dang, I didn't know y'all was here, like they could have came more prepared or whatever. But we on that same poster and it said featuring the D&B podcast or the good folks from WBPTV. You feel me? It give us that more acknowledgement, and then just like the people might just see it, be like, oh, they gonna be there. Okay, I'm about to sell. Like if they see him on the card, oh, he gonna be on the card. Okay, I'm about to tune into this match more. And so even though like the average fan, they might know that he on the match, but the people who might want to check it out or something like that, or just know who he is and give the show another view, they may not tune in because they don't see him. So it just really depends, like, on your story, what's going on at the time, what are you doing at the time, if you hold any titles or anything that you have going on at that moment.
I definitely understand exactly where you're coming from. I guess we forget that these wrestlers are human. Yeah. And I think that's what it is. We do forget that these wrestlers are human. And like a regular person who works a regular 9 to 5, they just want to be acknowledged for their work.
Exactly.
So I understand. Next story. Jimmy Uso gets arrested. This is coming from WrestlingNews.co. Jimmy Uso was arrested for DUI in Pensacola, Florida on Monday night around 10:35 p.m. local time after he allegedly ran a red light while being clocked going 50 miles per hour in a 35, according to a police report obtained by TMZ. The police stated that they smelled booze on the 35-year-old and asked him to exit the car. Once he got out, he was notably swaying. The police claimed that Uso told them he had consumed multiple beers before getting behind the wheel. He did fail the sobriety test. His blood alcohol, I believe his blood alcohol level was a 0.202 and a 0.205, which is higher than Florida's legal limit of 0.08. He was booked on a misdemeanor DUI charge in addition to citations for speeding and running a red light. This is the second time within the last 2 years that he's being accused of drunk driving. He was arrested for DUI in Pensacola back in July 2019, but a jury later found him not guilty. The same year, he allegedly got into a drunken dispute with cops in Detroit. I believe I heard he posted bond. Don't quote me, but I believe I read it or heard that he later posted bond today. Salamander, what's going on with Jimmy Uso?
Man, what's going on with your boy?
Don't bring. First off, don't bring my tribal chief in, and my tribal chief has nothing to do with this.
Look, that's his cousin. What's going on with your boy? That's your cousin. Get your cousin straight, bro. Look, y'all at the top, and he fucking up, man. Like,
listen,
they don't get your mans, man.
Listen,
Almighty gotta go to SmackDown, get his ass together. You feel me? The Almighty MVP, they gotta go over there. Like, hey, bro, we want this match at Survivor Series. Don't fuck this up. Hey, you gotta get it together.
Listen, he's 35 years old. He's a grown man. He knows when he should and should not operate a motorized vehicle. That's not going to come down on the head of the table. Look, I'll go ahead.
WWE gonna get to the point they did it like 4 times this year. They let his ass go. Keep Jay. He better get his ass together, get his shit together. They let it go. Look, they gonna let him go pick up the other brother. They're like, look, you the new Oos. Come on.
And they are not gonna pick up the other Oos from MLW. If I'm Vinnie Mac, I'm going to tell him that he can either remember the old classic beatdowns they used to get when you would get in trouble outside of WWE?
Mm-hmm.
Either we can do that beatdown and we can give you a fine, maybe a fine because this is the second time, so I'm thinking around $50K, $100K. This ain't storyline, this is real life, $100K. Or he can take a 6-month suspension and he's now subjected to blood alcohol tests every show, or the alcohol test.
Man, that's a hard decision because he just came back.
Exactly. And the thing is, with the first one, I'm really trying to help you out because I'm telling you that we're going to keep you on television. We're going to keep you in the Tribal Chief storyline, still allow you and your cousin to become SmackDown Tag Team Champions, or you can take Route B and take a 6-month suspension with a $50K fine, and you'll be subjected to not only counseling but testing every time you show up to an event. And on top of that, since you do work for us, we're going to institute a curfew on you as well. Because 2 times in 2 years, don't you think we now have to be this strict? Because at 35 years old, you can understand that after having consumed multiple beers, that maybe you should call a taxi. Where was Naomi? Why didn't he call Naomi? Salamander, am I in the ballpark of proper punishments for this?
Nah, you're totally right. Something got to be done. Something. Because, he probably going through something, though. Because, like you said, he got 2 years ago, he had a DUI. And then that story came out that he had got into it with some officers. And that he so-called had been under the influence. And then this incident. So, it's something. I don't know. What's going on? Like I said, Naomi, I don't know if you already tried and it's just not working or something, but if that's the case, WWE or just y'all as his family, I need to go get him some professional help then. Something. Because he gonna fuck around and fuck his career up if he don't get help now.
I do hope he gets the help he needs. Listen, he's been good on these past 2 weeks of SmackDown without main event Oos. I feel like he's been stepping into being that right-hand man very well, and I would hate for this to derail that because this is something that Jimmy needed to get shot right back into the big picture with Roman and Jay. This is exactly what he needed. I hope that he does get the help he needs and they keep him in the storyline because with the way it's going, Roman's only going to get bigger, especially after the SummerSlam match with John Cena. That's probably when he'll be at his peak. And honestly, Jimmy and Jay interference costing costing John Cena a shot at the Universal Championship. That is a great way to put that heel act as the biggest heels on the planet right now. And I would hate for this to derail that for Jimmy.
I heard John Cena is supposed to squash Roman.
Stop. You really believe that?
I heard it.
You
I
really
heard it. I was
believe?
like, what? Yeah, because he ain't gonna be able to see him. So all the moves he hit, how can he reverse it?
Okay, Salamander, quit being goofy. John Cena ain't squashing nobody. It's going to be a great match where Uso interference will cost John Cena. Next up, we have our last story, the return of Zelina Vega last week to Friday Night SmackDown. Some in the IWC are calling her a sellout. Do you believe Zelina Vega is a sellout, Salamander?
um, I mean, I don't think she wanted to get released in the first place. She was just expressing how she felt because WWE like basically trying to take over. You know, tell them that they can't have other outside parties like Twitch and OnlyFans and so forth and so forth. So she spoke out for what she believed in, and then in the result, she got released. No, she ain't a sellout because at the end of the day, she ain't want to be released. She just expressing how she felt. She felt she believed in unions and everything, which ain't nothing bad with that. WWE just didn't like how she went about doing what she did, so they basically taught her a lesson. Let her come back. I don't think she is. Now it'd be different if she was talking stuff. It was like nah da 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 da. Then got released and it was like talking her stuff like WWE, yeah, get them da 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 da. And then when they get her the opportunity to come back, she come back. That's different. But she only got released because she was expressing how she felt. That's like you speaking out, somebody speaking out against like some head writer at WWE about something that they feel like was inappropriate or something, then they get released in the result for the result of it. But more people come out, then they gotta release him. And then go take the proper precautions of releasing the actual person who everybody's complaining about. And then they're gonna rehire them people back. Are they sellouts?
Salamander, I couldn't disagree with you more. Zelina Vega is absolutely a sellout. Not only did she come back, she signed a dotted line while they were in the process of releasing her husband, Aleister Black. So let's go back to the beginning. So the very beginning of this, with the third party ban, she spoke up. She still kept her Twitch channel. And then she went and started an OnlyFans. Comes out and says, I support unionization. To then come back and film some stuff at the Performance Center, to come back to Friday Night SmackDown and lose in 3 minutes to Liv Morgan. What type of shit is that? You did all of this to come back to the company that released you, and on top of that released your husband, but waited until you signed the dotted line so you wouldn't feel any type of animosity? That's the company you come back to?
It's her punishment.
She's a sellout.
It's her punishment, just like Brock. When he left and he came back, guess what? He took that L to John Cena. His next couple big matches, he took L's because that was his punishment. Your punishment for leaving. All right, you come back, we're gonna give you a chance to come back, but just expect for us to punish you by making you job out for the next couple of weeks.
But why put her in Money in the Bank if you just gonna job her out?
Because she expect to take a big spot or something. Something big gonna happen. Like, not big, but something gonna happen. It's gonna be like a big spot, like probably like a Jeff Hardy Edge moment where Matt Hardy put Edge on the ladder and Jeff came for the top and hit the Swanton bomb. They both got charted out. Something like that. Not saying that she's gonna do that, but there's gonna be something where she probably leave or whatever.
Listen, Salamander, Zelina Vega is a sellout. She's a sellout of the highest order. You did all of this. You did all of this complaining. You did all of this tweeting. You started an OnlyFans. You still kept your Twitch channel. You did all of that to come back to a company who didn't even see enough in you to consistently push you. They had in NXT, Triple H had you with Andrade, and you were the most, she was the most overact in NXT with Andrade, to the main roster to separate her and not even get a proper push off of it. How many women's wrestlers have we seen release who didn't get that proper push? Who said they were going to get a push but never got it? And then you come back thinking you're going to get said push to lose in 3 minutes to Liv Morgan. And I absolutely agree with you. It is a punishment. But the fact that she still signed on the dotted line, knowing how WWE treated her the first time, that's what irritates me the most.
I mean, all this stuff is kind of it's very debatable. You know, some people may feel she is, some people may feel like she's not. But we're gonna leave that to the comment section. Y'all go ahead and leave down below. Do y'all feel like Selena Vega is a sellout? Yes or no? Let us know. We will respond back. But I mean, that's really it. At the end of the day, Roman gonna get squashed by John Cena. The Almighty still gonna be the WWE champion, and that's it. We about to tune out. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until then, we'll see you on the next one.